I'm not here to hype a kitchen gadget, I'm here to help you decide if a countertop commercial Nugget ice maker actually fits into your daily routine without turning your kitchen into a hassle zone. If you're still on the fence about whether a dedicated Nugget ice machine is worth the countertop real estate, the link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes I'll walk through what it feels like to live with this kind of machine, where the real value shows up, and who should keep scrolling instead of adding it to the cart. First off, let's talk about the moment you open the box. This Scotsman unit arrives in a steel frame that looks more like a small commercial-grade appliance than a home countertop gadget. The stand is sturdy, which means you won't have to worry about wobbling when you tap the dispenser or when you refill the water reservoir. That stability matters because Nugget ice makers tend to vibrate as the compressor cycles, and a flimsy base can shake your entire kitchen counter. The design also includes an integrated storage bin that holds a respectable amount of ice, so you're not constantly refilling after a few scoops. Now, the first question most people ask is, do I really need this? If you spend a lot of time making cocktails, smoothies, or feeding a family that loves soft-serve-style ice, the answer is probably yes. Nugget ice, often called pellet or crushed ice, melts slower than cubes and has that satisfying chew. That's why bars, coffee shops, and even some family kitchens love it. I've spoken with a few home entertainers who said the difference between a regular cube and nugget is noticeable. In a margarita, the ice doesn't water down the drink as fast, keeping flavor intact for longer sips. In a practical sense, that means you can batch prepare drinks for a party and keep them enjoyable for the whole event without constantly topping up. If you're looking for a simple ice cube maker to fill a tray once a week, the value proposition fades quickly. A standard home ice maker does the job with less footprint and lower power draw. This Scotsman machine is built for higher production rates, and that comes at the cost of a larger water reservoir and a higher energy consumption. In real life, the unit will run about an hour to produce a full bin of Nugget ice, and then it goes into a standby mode. The power draw isn't huge, but if you're only making a few cups a week, that extra kilowatt hour adds up compared to a small cube maker that cycles less frequently. Another practical concern is water source and maintenance. The Scotsman uses a built-in water dispenser that feeds directly into the ice bin, and the touch-free infrared operation means you can get ice without touching any buttons. Hand sanitary for busy kitchens. However, that convenience also means you need to keep the water line clean. The manufacturer advertises maintenance-saving construction, which in this case refers to a self-cleaning cycle that runs automatically once a day. In my experience with similar machines, that cycle helps prevent scale buildup but still requires you to wipe down the exterior and check the water filter every few weeks if you have hard water. Skipping that routine can lead to a slower ice production rate over time, so the convenience factor is contingent on a modest upkeep habit. Space is another hidden trade-off. Even though it's marketed as countertop, the unit measures roughly the size of a medium oven and needs a stable, level surface. If your kitchen islands are already crowded with mixers, coffee makers, and a dishwasher, you'll have to sacrifice a spot or relocate another appliance. In my walkthrough of a typical home kitchen layout, the best place for this machine is next to the main sink, where you can quickly refill the water reservoir and have the drainage pipe nearby if you need to run a hose. That positioning also minimizes the length of the ice dispensing hose, which can be a little clunky if you have to stretch it across the countertop. Who should buy this? The sweet spot is anyone who runs a semi-commercial setup at home, a small catering business, a home bar, or a family that constantly entertains. If you run a coffee shop or a boutique catering service and need a reliable source of Nugget ice without installing a full-size floor model, the countertop version gives you the commercial vibe on a smaller footprint. It also works for health-focused users who blend smoothies with ice daily. The slower melt means your drinks stay colder longer, which can be a noticeable quality difference. Who should skip it? If you live alone, have a modest kitchen, or only need ice for occasional use, the unit is likely overkill. The upfront cost is higher than a typical home ice maker, and the ongoing energy usage, albeit modest, will be noticeable on a tight budget. Also, renters who can't make permanent modifications to a countertop or who need to move frequently should think twice. The built-in storage bin takes up space that could otherwise hold spices or small